There is a claim making the rounds online, and it sounds almost too satisfying to question. The claim is that the White House, the most heavily protected residence on the planet, simply does not get termites. That while ordinary American homes are quietly eaten alive from the inside, the house where presidents sleep sits untouched, protected by a secret wood treatment costing just a few dollars, a trick passed quietly between the caretakers of every historic building in the country for generations. It is a great story, and it is wrong. But the truth underneath it is far stranger than the myth, because the White House has not just had termites. It has had them swarming 30 feet from the Oval Office while the president was working inside. There really is a treatment so cheap you can buy it in the laundry aisle of a grocery store that quietly protects some of the oldest wooden structures in the world. And the reason your local historic courthouse is still standing after 200 years while a newer house down the street gets condemned is not luck, and it is not an accident. By the end of this video, you are going to understand a silent war being fought inside the walls of nearly every landmark you have ever visited, and you are never going to look at an old building the same way again. Let us start by testing the claim itself, because a good investigation checks its own premise before anything else. Does the White House actually get termites? The answer, straight from the records, is yes, repeatedly, famously. The building is a prime target precisely because it is old and full of original wood, sitting in a warm, humid climate that termites love. Go back to 1968. A pest control technician was called in to deal with termites attacking the walls near the White House indoor swimming pool. To reach 2 of the infested walls, he actually had to swim across the pool with his equipment, treating the wood from the water. Sit with that image for a second. The nation's house, and a man is doing the backstroke to fight off insects eating the walls. Then came 1998, and this one is almost hard to believe. Subterranean termites were discovered swarming in the West Wing, roughly 30 feet from the Oval Office itself. They had found a tiny crack in the foundation and worked their way inside, and by the time anyone noticed, they had already caused damage under a window and in the baseboard nearby. The most secure building in America, guarded against every kind of human threat imaginable, had been silently infiltrated by an enemy that no fence, no guard, and no security clearance could stop. So the viral claim collapses almost immediately. The White House gets termites. Case closed, video over. Except it is not, because the wrong question was hiding a much better one. The real question is this. Given that the White House and buildings like it are constant termite targets, made of exactly the aged wood these insects crave, why are they still standing at all? Why has a house more than 200-year-old, attacked again and again, never been eaten out from under its occupants? That is not luck. That is a defense system most people never see, and it comes in 2 layers. One of them really is astonishingly cheap. The other is genuinely clever. And together they explain how nearly every historic wooden building in the country stays upright. To understand why anyone fights this hard, you have to understand what a termite colony actually does to a building. This is not about a few nibbled boards. A mature colony can contain hundreds of thousands, even millions of individuals, and they eat around the clock, every hour of every day, never sleeping. They tunnel through the inside of structural beams while leaving the outer surface looking perfectly intact, which means a support post can be hollowed into a shell while appearing completely solid from the outside. By the time the damage is visible, it is often catastrophic. Termites cause billions of dollars in structural damage across the United States every single year, more than fires and storms combined in many estimates. For a 200-year-old landmark, where the original timber is part of the history itself, that is not just a repair bill. It is the loss of something that cannot be replaced. So here is the first layer of the defense, the cheap one, the one the myth is clumsily pointing at. It is a mineral salt called borate. And you almost certainly already have a version of it in your home right now, because the most common form of it is borax, the same white powder sold as a laundry booster for just a few dollars a box. Here is why something that cheap works when expensive poisons often fail. Termites eat wood, But here is the secret most people do not know. They cannot actually digest it on their own. Wood is made of cellulose, and no termite can break cellulose down by itself. Instead, they rely on tiny microorganisms living inside their guts, a whole population of bacteria and protozoa that do the digesting for them. The termite eats the wood, and the microbes turn it into food. It is a partnership millions of years old, and it is also the colony's single greatest weakness, because borate targets exactly that partnership. When wood is treated with a borate solution, the borate soaks deep into the fibers and stays there. When a termite eats that wood, it also swallows the borate, and the borate kills the microorganisms in its gut. The termite keeps eating, keeps filling its stomach with wood, and quietly starves to death with a full belly because the machinery it needs to digest anything has been destroyed. It is a slow, silent, and brutally effective end. And it gets better because subterranean termites can often sense treated wood and simply refuse to eat it at all. They will not tunnel across it. Faced with a borate-treated beam, the colony turns around and abandons that section of the structure entirely. Now think about why this is perfect for a historic building specifically. Borate is a natural mineral salt, and to a human or a pet, it is roughly as toxic as ordinary table salt. That means you can treat the interior wood of an occupied building, a place where people live and work every day, without pumping hundreds of gallons of harsh chemicals into the soil. It does not stain the wood. It does not discolor delicate historic timber. It does not corrode the old metal fittings holding a landmark together. It simply soaks into the wood and stays there, protecting the beam for the entire life of that beam. For preservationists who consider it a crime to damage a historic structure, a cheap mineral that quietly protects the wood from the inside without harming anything else is close to a miracle. It is used on historic buildings across the country and around the world, and in some places, like parts of Australia where termites are relentless, treating structural timber this way is actually written into the building codes. If you are enjoying pulling this thread, take 1 second and tap subscribe, because this channel exists to find the real story hiding underneath the viral one. And the second layer of this defense, the one that actually saved the White House, is even stranger than the first. Now, back to the war. Because borate has one real weakness, and it is a big one. It is water soluble, which is exactly why it soaks into wood so well. But it also means that if treated wood is exposed to repeated soaking rain, the borate can gradually wash away and the protection fades. It is superb for interior wood, for beams and studs and floor joists tucked safely inside a structure. It is not a fortress wall around the whole property. And a building like the White House needs a fortress wall because the deadliest termites, the subterranean kind, do not come from the sky. They come from below, up through the soil, through any tiny crack in the foundation, exactly the way they did in 1998. So this is the second layer, and it is the one that actually answers what the White House did. After the West Wing swarm, the caretakers installed a colony elimination system based on bait stations. Here is the elegant part. Small stations are buried in the ground in a ring all the way around the perimeter of the building, and more are placed inside, right where the termites were found. Each station holds a bait that termites find even more appealing than wood, so they swarm to it and feed. But the bait is laced with a substance that interferes with the one thing every insect must do to survive: growing. Insects have to shed and regrow their outer shell in order to mature, and this bait makes that impossible. The workers that eat it carry it back and share it with the colony through their normal feeding, spreading it to the young, to the workers, and eventually toward the queen herself. Unable to molt, unable to mature, the colony collapses from within. This is the genius of the approach. You are not trying to find and kill millions of insects hidden inside walls and underground, which is nearly impossible. You are letting the colony's own behavior, Its feeding and its sharing carry the weapon into the very heart of the nest for you. The termites destroy themselves and never understand what happened. And this same quiet system now protects a remarkable list of American landmarks. The Statue of Liberty, Independence Hall, where the Declaration was signed, Ellis Island, the historic French Quarter of New Orleans, even the United States Capitol. All of them ringed by invisible stations, all of them fighting the same endless underground war. So let us return to the myth we started with. A cheap secret treatment passed quietly between historic buildings for generations. Was there truth in it? Sort of, but the picture was blurry. Yes, there is a treatment so cheap it lives in the laundry aisle, and yes, it genuinely protects historic wood. But it is not a single magic trick, and it never was. It is a layered defense. The cheap mineral guards the wood from the inside, the bait stations guard the ground from below. And behind both of them stands something the myth completely leaves out: constant, patient human vigilance. Technicians checking stations and inspecting timber year after year, decade after decade. And that is exactly why the myth exists in the first place. The system works so well that it becomes invisible, and when people cannot see the cause, they invent one. Nobody notices the technician checking a buried station on a Tuesday morning. Nobody sees borate soaked into a beam behind a plaster wall. They just notice, on some level, that the ancient building is still standing while termites eat ordinary houses to the ground, and the mind reaches for a story. A secret. Something old and whispered and cheap. The truth, that it is a mineral salt, a clever bait, and a maintenance schedule nobody ever thinks about, never stood a chance against a good legend. But the truth has one advantage the myth never will. It keeps going, because this war does not end. The borate can wash away. The bait stations have to be refilled and checked. The colonies underground are not defeated, only held back, endlessly probing every foundation for one more crack. In 1998, they found their crack 30 feet from the most powerful office on Earth, and they walked right in. The only reason they did not stay is that someone was ready for them. Every historic building you have ever admired is standing in the middle of a silent siege that has never once paused. And the greatest weapon protecting it is not the cheap treatment or the clever bait or even the people checking the stations. It is that you walked through those halls, looked up at those 200-year-old beams, and never had the faintest idea there was a war going on at all. If this changed the way you see the old buildings in your own town, tell me in the comments which one you are going to look at differently now, and subscribe so you do not miss the next hidden story sitting in plain sight.